today we're going to be looking at the idea of a method header and how we do everything associated with writing a method in the header and comments. So the method header is where you define all the properties of the method. This includes the access modifier, if it's static or non-static, the return type, the method name, and any parameters. So a method header, we can see, looks like this. You have the access modifier, whether it's static or non-static, the return, the method name, and the parameters. So here's a number of examples. Public, static, int, do stuff, and there's parameters. So access modifier, static, the return, the name, and you notice there's no parameters, so it's just open and close parentheses. Public void. So notice I didn't say static or non-static. That's not there. So if you don't say static, by default it's non-static. So public void, void's the return, the name's do stuff, int x is the parameter. So public, next one, public static string, string's the return, do more stuff's the name, and you can see we've got 3 parameters inside that method. So these are all the method headers. Now let's look at how we can comment a method. We're going to comment in the Java doc format. Now we want to make sure it's in the proper Java doc format. That way we can create Java docs from every class that we create. So first key here is it's /**. Not just /**, but /**. That indicates that's in the Java. It's going to be in the Java doc. So you start out with the method name, what the method does. You do @param for every single parameter that you have. And it's your name, and then you talk about the type of the parameter and what it's used for. You do this for every single parameter that you have. And then you've got your @return. So @return, you have the type. In other words, int, maybe it's an array, maybe it's an object. And then you say, what is the return? And now this may be a little repetitive. What is the return may be saying the same thing that what does the method do, and that's fine. Now we skip this line if it's void. So if there was no return, you wouldn't even have an @return. There would be no @return line. So let's look at an example. So here's my Java doc. The method's called add2. The method adds the 2 parameters together, returns that value. So @param, the name of the parameter is x. We say what it is and what it does. So this is an int. It'll be added to the other parameter. @param y, there's an int added to the other parameter, so it's the same thing. And then my return, @return, returns an int. And it tells us what it does. It returns the value of x plus y. Now let's look at our method. Here's our method header. Public, static, int, add2, int x, comma, int y. So we've got the access modifier, static, non-static, the return type, the name, and then the parameters. Notice the parameters are separated by commas. Now everything in between these braces is called the body of the method. So my body, there's not a whole lot going on here in this body of this method, because all it does is returns x plus y. But different methods will have a different size of body depending on what the method is supposed to do. And that is the end of this lesson.